Hi guys, for this section of the Jurassic Cast Rampage edition, we were each set our task with finding someone out in the Jurassic Park community to chat to. I think Bam Sam has got someone, and today I have the gentleman over at Jurassic Collectables from the YouTube channel you may know. Like Batman, I won't reveal who he is because the idea is much more important, but welcome Jurassic Collectables.
Hello.
And how are you feeling today?
Very well. Yeah, very well. It's been a productive day, and I'm now sat with a cup of tea. And actually, I've got a bowl of pistachios as well.
Oh man,
that I'm kind of munching through. So if you hear me making noisy, snuffly eating sounds, then that's what I'm doing. I'm eating pistachios.
So do you want to explain to the listeners what you're all about and your channel and everything?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Jurassic Collectables is probably was trying to be the online sort of library for Jurassic Park merchandise and collectibles and dinosaur merchandise as well. It's almost like a catalogue of everything to do with the movie, ranging from replica props to toys, to merchandise, to wrappers, to sweets, all sorts of things, anything related to Jurassic Park, basically.
It's just so cool. Like, for anyone who hasn't been on it, what's the address, just for people who
it's youtube.com/Jurassic Collectables, all one word, Jurassic Collectables.
Awesome. I mean, I can't remember when I first subscribed. it was that long ago, but I think it was around the time that you were doing a review of the McDonald's cups. I think that was the time I joined, or I'd spotted. It was either that, between that or the baby raptor in the egg.
Oh yeah.
So it wasn't like at the beginning, but it was like sort of towards the beginning, I think. So,
yeah. It's cool actually, because now that I'm sort of hearing from people who watch the channel, they tell me that they've gone off and they've built their own collections as well, and they're really happy to kind of share their collection with me. And oftentimes it's as good, if not better, than the one that's on the website. And it's just amazing to see what people, Jurassic Park fans, how dedicated they are. It really is amazing.
Yeah, they've definitely come out of the woodwork in the last 2 years. A lot of them.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Myself included.
Yeah,
so how do you, because you've got so many wide variety of things, as you said, so you've got like, from the Kenner action figures right up to like actual movie props, like, Ray Arnold's arm. How do you acquire a lot of this stuff? I think a lot of people out there wonder, how do you do it, or is that a spoiler?
No, it's not a spoiler at all. I mean, I'm just your average Joe looking for Jurassic Park stuff, and I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago, and I'd come out of university and I had some disposable income, and I thought, you know what, I'd really like to get that thing that I wanted when I was younger, and I think that thing was the big red Kenner T-Rex. That was the kind of the trigger for the collection. And if you do something, if you're looking for a Jurassic Park Kenner Red Rex, then you kind of become sort of, after a while, good at noticing when a Kenner Red Rex is a good price.
Yeah.
And it kind of started like that, and then it built up with new things. So then I wanted a cryo-can, and then I wanted Samuel Jackson's arm. So it escalated very quickly. And it's funny that, the stuff you buy, if you keep an eye on it, you can actually, you can sell that stuff on and make a little bit of money to help you buy something else that you want to get. So actually, sometimes a lot of the stuff on the channel can be sort of transitional. It might be coming in, and then it's gone again, and then we get something else.
Yeah. I've just compiled, because I was flying to LA, so I just compiled this huge complete list of everything I own to do with Jurassic Park.
Cool.
And I realized that, since the first video I did and the second one, I've doubled my collection pretty much. And
nice.
And part of me's going, do you know what? Some of this stuff might need to be moved on. There's a lot of stuff, like, I think a lot of the action figures I'll keep. Because I always get messages every day saying, are you going to sell it? Oh, I'd like to buy it, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And some of it has a personal nostalgia to myself, like my childhood, that I don't want to give away.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff on there, so I think maybe I'll donate it to Jurassic Collectables, and you guys can,
Whoa, that would be
yeah,
amazing.
maybe you
Yeah,
guys
I mean,
plus it.
oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
even if you just want to send it on, we review it and then pass it back to you, and you can sell it or something. We're happy
Yeah,
to do that. 'Cause,
I'd love to get you to review the Raptor pen that my friend's dad made. I don't know if you saw it in my collection video.
oh, you told me about that.
It's
Yeah.
this huge Raptor pen. Like it's a mock-up of the feeding, where they feed the raptor in the first film. It looks completely different because it
Right.
was made from an old crate, but
Right.
it's something that I wish Kenner had actually built. It's insanely cool.
Oh, that sounds epic. I'd really like to see that. You
Yeah,
have to send me some pictures. I'd love to see that.
yeah. The problem is it's so massive. I wouldn't be able to send it. We'd have to maybe meet up and do one together or something.
I do remember buying the command compound, which was that was a big mistake, man. I've got to review that soon because that's taken up a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
It's a huge box and it's full of stuff. And actually, I'm looking for the little battery-powered terminal on mine has died. I think in an early video of the Raptor unboxing, there is like a little clip of the terminal from the command compound, and it's like it's reciting all its sound effects. After that recording, it died, and it's never worked again. And I would love to get a working one. So if anyone has a working command compound terminal, then I would love to get my hands on that.
There you go, listeners. You've been told. The hunt is on. What is your favourite Jurassic Park merchandise? Like, what is your favourite piece? So it could be from any line of any merchandise. But what is your number one thing?
I think that the Red Rex for me, for lots of different reasons. But when I was little, my parents, I asked my parents to get me the Jurassic Park T-Rex from Kenner. I'd seen it on the TV and it was really hyped up, and the T-Rex was the coolest dinosaur I think in Jurassic Park, maybe apart from the raptors.
Yeah.
So I really wanted that big red Rex, and I'd seen it in Toys R Us, and I'd pointed it out to my parents. And anyway, Christmas rolls around, and I get this big box, and I open it up, and it was the young T-Rex, the brown one, the juvenile one, and there was this feeling of elation because it was a Jurassic Park T-Rex. Regardless, it was amazing, and when we took it out, I was really pleased with it. I loved it. And I had a Jungle Explorer, but I had no big dinosaurs to go with it, so I was kind of like, that was my first big dinosaur.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh man, but wouldn't it be great if I'd got that big red Rex with the electronic sounds and all this stuff? And I think that sort of unrequited feeling for the T-Rex never went away, and that's kind of become my favorite thing, the big red Rex.
Yeah.
It's still so iconic and everyone remembers it. I think it's one of the ones that gets most hits on the channel, and a lot of people just comment on it, go, I remember this T-Rex, and the fact it was the wrong color, it was more like the coloration in the book, I think, rather than in the film. And
I'm actually looking at my one right now.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's sitting behind me because I don't know if you remember in my video I talked about repainting my version, and, but I didn't like the repaint after a few years. I mean, it was good at the time, but then the paints have faded and been worn down. So I basically destroyed my Red Rex. And but then I went on eBay and I found one that they said the batteries were dead and it was missing one of its fingers, and it was £20. So it was a bargain. So I snapped it up, and then it's actually missing half of one of its fingers, and you put batteries in it and it works. So so I was like, there you go. But it is out of its box. But yeah, I remember getting because the Big Red Rex is my favourite piece as well, because I remember the Christmas I got it. I didn't, when I was a kid, I didn't really find out. The only thing I knew about Jurassic Park toys was I got the Raptor, the orange Raptor first. That was the first toy I ever got.
Right, cool.
And I remember flipping it over and it had all the pictures on the back.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, oh my god, and I never saw any of them apart from like when Mum would come back with one. She'd be like, I found this in the shop, and then I'd get it. But Christmas, I remember that Christmas specifically because I got the Big Red Rex, I got the Jungle Explorer, and I got the big green Triceratops all at once.
Oh man, and that's like that you won. That's like
and I got Timmy as well. I got Timmy with the baby Brachiosaurus. That was like my mum just hauled everything into one big scoop. That was one of the greatest Christmases of my life.
Timmy is one of the best figures out of the whole Series 1 set, not even Series 2, I'm talking about Series 1.
Yeah.
Timmy is one of the coolest because he comes with Brachiosaurus, of which there are no other Brachiosaurs in series 1 or 2. He comes with a little cage, that snare thing, which you got on the you got one on the Bush Devil Tracker as well. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he came with one was really cool. And he had the night vision goggles. I think out of all the stuff related to the film, he was probably one of the coolest.
Except he was nearly as tall as like Ellie. Like his size was a little bit off. But apart from that, no, I totally agree. Like it always surprised me a John Hammond or a Lex figure. Like,
she must have been gutted, right?
Yeah, well, maybe it was something to do with both those actors didn't sign off on having their faces on action figures. Like maybe they had to sign a contract or something to they use their likeness, and they both said no.
Or maybe it was kind of like they had to whittle down which characters had the most sort of edge and appeal. So you've got Alan Grant, who's the hero. You've got Ellie, who's like the female equivalent, and you've got Muldoon.
Yeah, but then they had like loads of characters that were made up, like later on in series 2. So that always
that's true.
Yeah, always stumped me that they never did it. So I believe this is speculation though that it was something to do with their contracts that they maybe didn't want to and maybe Ariana Richards didn't want to have an action figure of herself out there.
Maybe I think someone left a comment on the YouTube channel the other day about this, saying that she was upset about the fact she wasn't an action figure. So I don't know if she even was. If she was in the know, I think it just kind of happened, and then they had to deal with it.
I know they were producing the toys, I think, before the film had even finished design.
That's right. Yeah.
So maybe they didn't know
designs.
how involved Richard Attenborough's character was going to be. R.I.P. by the way, like sad news.
I know. Oh man, I was absolutely gutted when I heard that news, and it's funny because obviously I got married recently, but part of my stag do was actually Jurassic Park themed, and I dressed up as John Hammond. So.
Oh really?
So it's kind of come at a funny time. I've got like the leftovers of a beard and some stuck-on white eyebrows and my amber cane, and then suddenly this news arrives when we got back from the honeymoon. So I was a bit sad, but he's had a wonderful life and he's done some amazing things. It was a shame because I remember reading an article about him in his later life. He had quite a tragic end to his life as well with his
the tsunami
and granddaughter. Yeah, really, really sad. But as far as an actor, he's had such a wonderful career, and he's really, really done amazing. It's funny that everyone goes, "Oh, Jurassic Park," because he's done so much more. But in this generation, that's what many people will remember him for.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always remember him for Jurassic Park and The Lost World. But a couple of other films, my personal memory of him are Flight of the Phoenix and Miracle on 34th Street. Like those two, when I was a kid, I would watch Flight of the Phoenix quite a lot when I was a kid. Yeah. With him in, and I'd always like the fact that it was John Hammond. Like I didn't see Richard Attenborough when I was a kid. I saw John Hammond like on an adventure before he changed his name and opened this park.
That's so funny. It's like every time he kind of touches a railing or some kind of long object, you kind of think, is it an amber cane?
Yeah.
And you kind of start to picture it and replace it in your mind.
Yeah, so you're obviously excited for the new movie?
Yeah, very excited. Yeah, I mean, as a Jurassic Park fan, I think, any new material of any kind is amazing, let alone another whole film. And I've got a lot of faith in Colin Trevorrow doing a great film, and I really hope, he makes fans feel like they're back on Jurassic Park again, because that's what I get, from all the interviews and all the things I've seen so far. That's the impression I get, is that he wants to take people back to what Jurassic Park was, and that's really exciting.
I'm sure he will. Now, you recently went pretty much to Isla Nublar, didn't you, for your honeymoon?
Yeah, cool.
As many of your viewers may know. What was that like? Because you went to all the different spots where they filmed the movie.
It was amazing, and actually, I've had a few people ask me, because they're visiting the islands themselves, and they want to know where all of these things are. I will be doing like a roundup video in the near future of all the places and how to get there. Now, what I thought is, when I got there, I thought you'd kind of, because you have concierges in your hotel, you can ask, where do you want to go, and they'll tell you how to get there. But I got to the hotel and kind of thought, well, they'll know where all these Jurassic Park places are.
Yeah.
There must be tons of
It's
people.
taught in the schools there.
Yeah, there must be tons of people coming every day and asking, where is the Jurassic Park gates and all this sort of stuff. But actually, we got there, and they said, "Oh no, it's really deep in the jungle, and actually we don't have any tours that go there, so you can't go there." And then I listed off all the places. I'd done research online, and I listed off all the places I wanted to see in my time there.
Yeah.
And they pretty much said, "Well, you can't really get to this one, you can't get to that one, you can't get to this." And I was like, "What?"
What were some of the ones that you couldn't get to? Like, for example, which ones didn't make it into the videos?
Well, the Jurassic Park gates was one I was particularly keen to see. And what's bad about that is the concierge actually said, you can't go there. And that's baloney. You can get tours there. The thing is, what happens is, because it's essentially, it is like, the whole island is like Jurassic Park, essentially. You've got like a perimeter road that goes round the island. Then the central part, you can't really get to it because it's dense jungle and it's very hilly and mountainous, and it's very treacherous. And also they have flash floods in the afternoon sometimes because it's the wettest of the Hawaiian Islands. It rains all the time up at the top of the peaks. So you get these flash floods that cut you off from going somewhere. And actually the Jurassic Park gates has 2 streams that you cross to get there, and they regularly flash flood. So it's actually, it is like Jurassic Park.
It doesn't look like it in the film, does it? When they're like driving up, it doesn't look like there's that's an area that would flood.
No, but that's why Hollywood likes it.
Are you sure it wasn't something to do with Jurassic World as well?
No, it was. You could still take tours and you could organise tours, but the thing that's interesting about the island is that it is very remote and everything is very much like Jurassic Park. It does feel like Jurassic Park in itself. And why Hollywood likes it is because there's not that many poisonous snakes or anything like that would kind of like cause a risk to the actors. So they love it because they can go in, stay somewhere nice, fly in via helicopter, film, and then fly back out again. And then no one else can get to them unless it's kind of like somewhere that's just off a road. But most of the time they're not, because it's this really lush location. But yeah, in terms of the places I visited, there was Nedry's cafe when he meets with Dodgson, which was really interesting because I had to sort of like ask some of the locals, do you know where this is? I hear it's near here. And like, some of them were like, oh no, I don't know where that is. And then I asked someone else and they're like, oh yeah, it's just up here next to this fish taco place. So we went up the road and lo and behold, there it was, the palm trees, the same backdrop. And it was obvious that they'd just set up there. It was like a industrial car park. We've done a video on it.
Yeah, I've watched all of them, the ones you posted anyway, and I'm excited to see the one where you compile it all together and let people know where it is, because I think a lot of fans don't know. I mean, I've been on Google Earth and been over those islands thousands of times, and I still can't find most of them, so that'd be quite handy.
I'll point them out in a future video, and then if anyone's going there, they can visit. So, and then we visited the Jurassic Park where the Raptor Pen would have been. We visited the Jurassic trees, which is where Alan Grant finds the hatchling, the shells of the hatchlings.
So awesome.
Where else did we visit? I'm trying to think now.
Your wife didn't mind, did she?
No.
She a Jurassic fan? Were you going, you don't mind going to see where the Jurassic Park thing? I know we're on honeymoon, but...
Well, actually, she was very good about it, and I think, to be honest, if we hadn't done some of those trips, we wouldn't have had like an overview of the island, because you have to go quite far to get to, for example, the Raptor Pen. If you're staying in the south of the island, you have to go all the way to the north of the island to get to where the Raptor Pen was shot. So all of these places are, very remote, but yeah, it's an amazing place. Oh, and Jurassic Park Falls as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing, but it's not as accessible as you would hope. You'd think for an island that's a tourist attraction, I expected them to have capitalized big time on the links to Jurassic Park, but in fact, it's still quite hard to get to.
It might be something to do with what I briefly mentioned before, was the fact that Jurassic World had filmed there quite recently. If they did capitalise on that quite a lot, there would be tourists there all year round, and so other movies like Hunger Games and even like maybe future Jurassic sequels and stuff might find it difficult to get the privacy.
Maybe
to film there, because they would have to close off the tourist areas, and that's more work, more money. Whereas if they,
true, maybe
keep
in the
it
long
more
term,
secret, it's more of a mystery still. So
yeah, and maybe it guarantees them more money if they if they side with Hollywood rather than tourists. I don't know, but in terms of the trying to find where places are, I would say if you're going to go, make sure you do your research before you go, and be careful as well, because it is a dense and can be a remote and dangerous jungle. So it is like Jurassic Park. It's not like somewhere you can just go, oh, here are the Jurassic Park gates on this road. You have to kind of organise a tour to go there, or rent a vehicle to drive there yourself. So,
or halo jump in outer space.
Yes, or get a helicopter to drive you around all the spots and drop you off like the Jurassic Park crew. But it was still amazing nonetheless, and there were times when I would just look at parts of the landscape and go, I know that, where's that from? And it would be from something like Indiana Jones, or just recognise the fields where the brachiosaur was, stuff like that, where you just see it, and you're so familiar with it. Yeah, you just kind of the location already. So yeah, it's a really fascinating place. But if you are going to visit, I'd definitely say do your research before you go.
Cool. And then on your way back to the UK, you stopped off at LA to go to the Universal Studios?
Yeah, that was amazing. And I hear you've recently been as well.
Yeah, it was 3 days ago. So
cool.
It was that close. First time for me stateside and to Universal Studios.
Likewise.
Yeah. So we basically saw the ride exactly the same. So it's not like we're coming from like a perspective that you rode it 5 years ago, and the tour car still worked falling down the thing. You probably rid it and it didn't work like it did with me.
Oh, it didn't work?
No, didn't it fall down? Did it fall down with you?
Oh, the car. You mean the car?
Yeah, the car. Like the car was hanging. You heard it fall through the sound system, but it wasn't moving. And one of the brachiosauruses was skinned alive and just like hidden behind this like fence.
Yeah, I saw all that stuff. I actually read about that ride beforehand, and how they stopped doing that car dropping down quite a while ago because of, I don't know, for safety reasons or something broke. But it's always, apparently it hasn't fell for a long time. So but and the animatronics, they do look like they've been patched up a little bit.
There was the first one you see, it's got like a tear in its neck. Like, it made me laugh because it's quite nice to know though that that's the original Jurassic Park ride, and also they haven't changed it since it opened. So what we went on was exactly the same ride. I mean, ours was beaten and dying. But it was the initial ride, like the no changes. But so what did you think? Was that the first time you rode it?
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was really good. I think the tour with the animatronic dinosaurs, again, like we said, has sort of aged over time. But you got the idea. You got the sensation of what it would have been like when it first opened. And I thought actually it was really cool the way it like swerved into all these sort of different zones, and you had the Raptor Pen, and I've seen it online, but I'd never experienced it firsthand.
Same here.
And also there were 2 T-Rexes, which I thought was cool. There's like one that comes down.
Yeah, I didn't know.
And then there's another one. I thought there were 2. I thought there was going to just be one, but
that was really cool. I like that the I had that same assumption that you only see it come through the waterfall at the end.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise that it was pretty much the full body of the T-Rex. I thought it was just the head and the arms. It was that, but I didn't realise that it has feet and it's like... So, yeah. Did you ride it just one time, or did you go on it a couple of times?
One time, because we wanted to make sure we did as many of the rides as possible. But, I was tempted to go. But then we went to the Jurassic Cafe and the Jurassic Outfitters as well. And I don't know about you, but I felt... It was a bit bizarre because it felt like you were in Operation Genesis at times.
Yeah, I mean, I know that feeling. I didn't go in the CAF. I saw it. I went into the Outfitters quite a few times because I rode the ride 3 times in total in the day, and and you have to exit through the
3 times. That's dedication.
Yeah, it was the first ride I went on when I entered the park, and it was the last one I went on before leaving. And you get very wet, and I managed to sit right at the front on the 3rd time, right in the middle as well, so I got the best experience. But
brilliant.
I could from it. But I was surprised because I wanted to own for years a "I've survived the Jurassic Park ride" T-shirt. That was just something I've wanted to have for ages, and I was surprised that they actually didn't have that T-shirt anymore.
Oh yeah, their stock has changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I managed. I'm wearing the T-shirt right now. It says Jurassic Park the ride. It has the logo in it, but it's like all in concrete with Compsognathuses all running all over it.
I saw that. Yeah, that was quite a cool
T-shirt. And I didn't buy. There wasn't an adult size, so I bought a children's extra large, and it actually fits me perfectly. So I was like, oh, thank God. And I couldn't try it until I got back to the UK because our flights were leaving and we had to like sort of leave the park quite quickly. But so I tried it on and I got home and I was like, yep, that fits fine. But in the tag it says children's extra large.
Oh man, because I had the same problem with just the Jurassic Park logo one that was on like a T-shirt. I think it's in my the unboxing like the haul that I did recently. It's just like the Jurassic Park logo T-shirt, and I was really disappointed because they only had it in female shape. So I was like, oh man, I really want that T-shirt. So ended up going to LAX airport to leave.
Yeah.
And they had like a little Universal Studios shop there as well, and they had it in male sizes. I was like, score! So I got
so lucky.
Yeah, so I got the T-shirt I wanted, which was good.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so we picked up a few Jurassic Park toys, and they'll all be sort of unboxed and reviewed on the channel.
I can't wait for those videos because, just my opinion, I thought they looked dreadful.
Yeah,
they look so bad. They look
without a doubt. But I think there's still that bit of excitement about Jurassic Park official merchandise.
I mean the vehicles were probably the most exciting thing. The dinosaurs and human figures, not so much.
Yeah, I'm actually interested to see if it's got the JP logo on the leg. I don't think it will have, but we'll find out.
No, because it's I think they're produced by the theme park itself, so they've like outsourced some toy company, whoever they are, to build them. So
because they're fairly new, like within the last year. And I was talking to the cashier and saying, oh yeah, they're kind of all fairly new. But it'll be interesting to see what happens when Jurassic World comes out, because obviously then that merchandise is going to be, I don't know, it's going to multiply. That shop is they're going to need to make more.
They're probably going to update the ride, I could imagine. They'll probably go through and fix it all up, because they're going to know that once the new film drops, that they're going to get a huge influx of people come to the park to ride the ride again.
Yeah.
Maybe even just come to the park to see if they've done anything to the ride.
I wonder if they're going to like rebrand the logo to the new sort of blue steel coloration and kind of get all the branding to match everything.
I can't imagine they'll change the name above the gates, with the flames on it.
Oh no,
they'll keep all that, and the ride will be pretty much the same. But they might,
rebrand it.
Yeah, rebrand it, like make all the animatronic dinosaurs look more swish. Maybe repaint them to match the new film. Just stuff like that.
It'll be worth going again for me and you. Then we'll be that would be really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I was impressed, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, before I was going to LA, I was sitting there thinking, oh, I can't wait to get into that shop and see if they've got any of the old Kenner toys, because I didn't look up online, and I was like, oh, I wonder if they've got any of the 2013 lines that I actually missed, because in the UK we don't get all the stuff that Toys R Us in the US gets.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to come back with so much stuff. And then I ended up coming back with a mug, a T-shirt, a key ring, stuff that I really love. It's amazing stuff to buy, but my expectations were too high.
Yeah.
For the souvenir side of things.
Yeah.
When your video came out and I saw the toys, I was like, oh my god, no. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But like you said, it will be revamped for the new film.
Yeah. I mean, I was interested with the high-end collectible stuff, because I thought at first maybe it was Jurassic Park official stuff, and then they had these skeletons. I don't know if you saw them in the glass cabinet. They had all the various skeletons and a Stegosaurus to one side, but unfortunately none of that was branded official merchandise. So I was kind of hoping for something exclusive to kind of take home, and I suppose the toys, they're very exciting, but I kind of hoped for maybe something a little bit more, but there wasn't really anything.
Did you see the hand puppet raptor in the egg?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
The little material one, because that's my one regret. I picked that up on after my second go around. I found it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick one of those up because they look great.
Yeah.
When my third time around, went into the souvenir store, did all my shopping, left, and then remembered it.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I did pick
maybe
that
next
up.
time.
I was kind of like having a look around, trying to get like an even spread of different things.
Because it's a Jurassic Park fans like dream shop, even with the stuff that they had in there, like, you know, not to downplay it, it was amazing, and I've got some really awesome stuff from it. But you know, it is still an awesome place to. The shop alone, like, it's pretty cool. It's still got loads of awesome things in it, like workers' hats and.
Oh yeah, and it's great.
You know,
it's great for kids. I mean, kids don't. I mean, with the toys and stuff, I saw kids walking around with the plush toys and, you know, the cars, the vehicles, and they love that stuff. So it's great to see, you know, the next generation of children enjoying Jurassic Park again, and that's what it's all about, really, is making sure that the kids have a good time. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's next year is obviously going to kickstart that all again.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing.
So, is there anything you want to, any projects or anything you've got going on outside of the Jurassic Collect YouTube channel you want to mention to anyone out there?
Yeah, so I'm thinking at the moment of starting a Kickstarter project for a children's television show pilot that has dinosaurs in it, and it's something I've been developing for a while now, and I've been doing some of the concept artwork for it, and I actually happen to work in the animation industry, so it's something that's very sort of close to my heart, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. But it's going to be for sort of children aged six and up. So I was 6 when Jurassic Park came out, and it's the kind of age I thought was perfect for like dinosaur enthusiasts. So that's my sort of target market. But yeah, I'll put a video up when that's done, and I'll put a link to the Kickstarter. We can get the ball rolling. But it's looking really promising, and I think it could be something that appeals to both young and old. It's got that sort of family feeling, but its main audience is sort of 6 and up.
Sweet. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
If you send all the links to Bam Sam or myself, we'll plug it on the pod
I appreciate that.
When the ball has really started rolling.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah. I've finished my tea. I finished it.
Oh, well done. Good work.
5 minutes ago. Yeah.
I've got a little bit left. I'm just gonna have a sip. There we go.
Are you using your Jurassic Park mug you got from the?
No, I'm not actually. I haven't used it because it's slightly taller than a normal mug. It's like, you know, it's quite a big mug. So I've really got to want tea when I'm making that mug.
That's when you do a big unboxing video or something.
Exactly.
Like you got a big haul to get through.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm sure will be soon. Actually, there's one more thing I wanted to mention, which was recently I snagged an embryo cryo can signed by Wayne Knight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was the other day. I managed to snag that online, and
oh wow.
Yeah, that's coming up on the channel. So that should look pretty good, and I'll show you.
You got a glass case for it because that's going to need like protection.
I've got the case from my old cryo can. I think I've shown it in the review. So I'll show that, and I'll show kind of like an update of the sort of collection area, so you guys can see how it looks with the new Wayne Knight signed embryo cryo can. But I thought that was worth mentioning.
Awesome. Yeah, I look forward to that.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, are you doing any more? Just quickly, are you doing any more Godzilla figure?
Oh
reviews?
yes, we are actually. I meant to say that one's landed. It's the NECA 24-inch. It's got.
Oh, you got the big one. You got the huge.
Yeah, and it's with sounds. I ordered it ages ago, and it hasn't arrived until now. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about reviewing that one, doing a close-up, detailed review. So we'll do the whole body, the articulation, the sound effects, everything. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That's coming up
cool.
soon.
Because the Blu-ray for Godzilla's coming out in what's the date today? The 9th.
Ah, so there you go.
So like seven days. 7 days. The Blu-ray. So a week. I think the Blu-ray drops.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
Good timing. Yeah.
Perfect. Oh well, I'll maybe time it for that day so that kind of people are interested and sort of revitalize their interest in the Godzilla franchise, and I'll definitely put that one up. I'm looking forward to reviewing it as well. It looks amazing in the box.
Awesome. Yeah, that was one I was thinking of getting, but then I've ended up going for the Bandai one where you bend it forward and it spits its atomic breath out.
But that's cool.
Which has got a flappy head, and it's a It's good for like just having on a shelf, just not doing anything.
Yeah.
Although I used it for a picture I photoshopped the other day. I just took a picture of it and then edited over it. But yeah, no, it's definitely a hilarious figure to check out if you ever get a chance to.
Cool. No, I'll take a look. I'm sure that the molds can't be too far off. I know NECA's obviously, they're really sort of high-end stuff, but I was looking at the actual model itself, and it doesn't look too dissimilar from the molds. I don't know, maybe I'd have to put them side by side.
It's very very movie accurate, despite like the detail being a little less. It's very movie accurate.
That's what I was thinking. They did a good job on those.
And because younger kids don't usually get NECA stuff, this would be, for their Godzilla collection, this would probably be their big Red Rex in a way.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say.
That's the way I imagined it.
This NECA one is my big Red Rex, so
yeah,
hopefully it lives up to the standard.
Cool. Well, thanks for dropping by.
No problem.
And having a chat. Yeah, apologies we had to get you back in again.
That's all right. Thanks for having me.
I messed up the first recording.
Thanks for having me.
But at least we got to chat about, I like to call Nublar and and the ride and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have that to talk about before, so that's it's quite good. Cheers for coming on.
That's all right. Anytime, Jack. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, and we'll chat really soon.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too.
Bye.
Bye.